Hey guys, welcome. I am really irritated right now, but you know what? I'm going to try to relax. ASMR is supposed to be relaxing, so I shouldn't be stressed. But my laptop is pissing me off. It's pissing me off. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, sorry for that intro. I'm usually a lot happier. Let's do this. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, just relax. That's why you're here. We're gonna read a good book and chill out. We're not gonna think of anything else. We're not gonna think about today. We're not gonna think about tomorrow. What we have to do. I know I'm constantly thinking of what I need to do, and I feel like it's almost unhealthy. And I stress myself. I stress myself out. And now my refrigerator wants to turn on. You know what? We're just going to listen to the sound of my voice. I'm so sorry. This is not the ASMR that I wanted. I want better. I want really good quality for you guys. Everybody wants to drive with their motorcycles right now. I want to make good quality for you. So when things are not going how it's supposed to be, I'm just gonna start reading. Alright, let's just get into it. Chapter 20, Fear is for Suckers. We tiptoe through life hoping to safely make it to death. Quote is unknown. When I lived in New Mexico, a friend of mine took me to this cave she heard about in the Jemez Mountains. It's more like a big hole in the ground, actually, she said, but I hear it's pretty cool. She didn't do a great job of selling it, especially when she got to the part about how we have to crawl around on all fours the whole time, but I wasn't really listening to her anyway. Caves don't interest me, no matter what size they are. I was only going for the road trip and the hike through the mountains, and this great burger place that I discovered the last time I was up there. The cave was just a necessary part of the trip, like stopping for gas. After a glorious drive beneath the endless New Mexico sky and a beautiful hike on a red dirt path through a pinon pine forest, I probably didn't say that right, we got to the cave. It was just as she described, a little hole at the base of a small hill just big enough to crawl through. My friend tossed me a pair of knee pads and flashlight and headed in. I followed her on my hands and knees, holding my flashlight with my teeth, and by the time we were about 10 minutes in, I felt like the entrance and my chances of ever seeing another burger again had vanished. If anything came at us from inside the cave, like, say, a monster, or if there was a flash flood, or an earthquake, or a rattlesnake, or mosquito, we were totally screwed. The craggy white rock tunnel surrounding us had closed in so tightly that when my friend finally stopped crawling and leaned in against the wall to sit, she had to do so with her head bent so far forward it looked like she was about to start chewing on her neck. What the hell was I doing here again? Okay, now for the cool part. You ready? She asked. Turn off your light. She clicked off the flashlight after motioning for me to do the same. The instant my light went out, I experienced the absolute darkest darkness of beyond pitch black. Holy fucking shit. Deepest, darkest, blackestness ever. I felt the tickling of hysteria beginning to warn in its way the back of my neck, and for the first time in my life, I completely understood fear. Because fear was the only thing I could see in that hole. It sat there, gigantic, all-consuming, staring me straight in the face, asking, so you're gonna let me swallow you up or what? I realized with absolutely zero effort I could unravel into a claustrophobic freakout or such scratching, biting, high-pitched, crazy lady screaming colossalness that it would leave both me and my friends staring at a wall playing with our lips for weeks after they dragged our limp, bloody bodies out of the cave. Or not. The choice was mine. To fear or not to fear, that is the question. I'm pleased to report that I decided to forego the fear frenzy in the favor of calmly crawling back out the cave to land of sunshine, open spaces, walking on two legs. emerged with not only an alarming amount of sand in my ears and severed lockjaw from cracking the flashlight with my teeth, but with a new profound understanding of the choice aspect of fear. It's so simple. Fear will always be there, poised and ready to wreak havoc, but we can choose whether we're going to engage with it or turn on the lights, drown it out, and crawl past it. I also realize that drowning it out is actually pretty easy. We've just conditioned to believe otherwise. We made being in fear a habit. We're pumped full of it as children, like sugar. Then as we grow, we continue to take in bad news on TV and horror in the papers and the violence in the books and films and video games and all this junk that fills us to the brim with fear about the world. We're taught to play it safe and not take risks and to caution everyone around us to follow suit. It's become such an part of our social conditioning that we don't even realize we're doing it. For example, what would your immediate response be to someone who really loved and deeply cared about if they said, sputtering with excitement, any of the following things to you? I'm taking out a gigantic loan to build my dream business. I'm going to travel around the world for a year by myself. I'm quitting my secure full job to become an actor. I met the most incredible person last week and I'm totally in love and we're getting married. I'm going skydiving. For the most part, we watch someone take a leap of faith. Our first reaction is to scream, "Look out." We not only made a habit of smearing our fear and worry doubt all over each other, but we pat ourselves on the backs for it because we believe that it shows how much we care. That's something worth being scared of, if you ask me. There's something called the crab effect. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bowl, and if while they're crawling all over each other, one of them tries to climb out, the rest of them will try to pull him back in instead of helping to push him out. No wonder they're called crabs. Imagine how different our world would be if we were less crab-like. If we were not only taught to really truly believe in miracles. Yes, I realize how dorky that sounds, but were rewarded and supported instead of cautioned and screamed at for taking huge leaps into the unknown. We give a lot of lip service to the idea that anything is possible, and we all grow up with posters of kittens and baby seals on our walls that say follow your dreams on them. But should you actually do something radical, all the flashing lights and sirens go off. Know what I'm saying? Fear lives in the future. The feeling of being afraid is real. But fear itself is all made up because it hasn't even happened yet. Death, going bankrupt, breaking a leg, forgetting our lines, getting yelled at for being late, being rejected, etc. Most of the time we have no guarantee that what we fear is going to even happen, or that if it does, that's going to be scary. Take death, for example. For all we know, we leave our bodies and melt into a state of pure love, light, and sparkly things, and unicorns, and bunnies, eternal orgasmic giddiness. We can be as sure of that as we can anything else in the future. So why create all the drama? All it takes is to turn the fear factor around, is learning to be comfortable in instead of being terrified of the unknown. And this is done through faith. It basically comes down to how you choose to go through life. Is your fear greater than your faith in the unknown and yourself? Or is the faith in the unknown greater than your fear? While you're making your choice, here's a mouthful from a good old Helen Keller. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. To keep our faces toward change and behave like free spirits in the presence of fate is strength undefeatable. There's that incredible moment when you decide, screw it, I'm going for it, and suddenly the thrill overtakes the fear. And then you're flying on the magic carpet, you're singing on the dotted line to buy the house, you're signing on the dotted line, confronting your father, sliding the ring onto the finger, stepping onto stage in front of thousands. I mean, talk about feeling alive. On the other side of your fear is your freedom. Here are some helpful ways to navigate your way through the jungle fear. And I'm going to stop there. It's going to be a short one today. We are going to continue the rest tomorrow. My throat is just feeling a little, feels like it doesn't want to go on anymore. But I think I learned some stuff from that. Like, it's true, like, we're scared of things that, like, haven't even happened yet, and so we don't take the risk. But it's like, sometimes you just gotta go for it, you know? Like, I remember the longest time when I wanted to start my YouTube, I was just scared it was gonna fail, or like nobody was gonna like it, or just, I don't even know. And like, I took that leap, and people do like it, and I love it, and I'm still been enjoying making these videos, whether they blow up or not. You know, if I never would have done it, it just always would be in the back of my mind, you know. So just take that into consideration. I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you guys have good holidays. I saw a quote the other day, or just not even like a saying that was like, if you're alone during the holidays, like, just remember it's just Christmas and you're always alone. Like, it's literally just another day. Like, it's not that serious, you know what I mean? It's not as serious as sometimes we can make it be. Sometimes we make it into this big thing in our head. And yeah, so whether you're alone or with your family, like, it's okay. It's okay. You can still have a good time by yourself. Like, it's just, it's another day. So, that being said, have a great night. Have a great night. Relax, drink some water, and good night.